Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Villain. From Scorpion Dragon to the Strongest Dragon Emperor. Chapter 1. Skyland. Jeonjo is in desperation. The terrain here can be said to be extremely complicated. The entire mountain stream is as if countless cracks have been cut by the strongest with a single sword. Every crack is nearly 1,000 feet long. Moreover, these mountain streams are even more unfathomable. Poisonous fog is permeated, countless highly toxic substances are infested, and the environment is extremely harsh. Speaking of, here, it can be regarded as a dangerous place in Jeonjo. There are so few people here all year round, it has become a natural breeding ground for monsters. The roar of monsters is everywhere in the poisonous stream, which is frightening. Generally, except for some people with special needs, few people will come here. Yin, yin. Suddenly, the sound of dragon chants resounded like thunder, coming from the poisonous stream. Then spread out like ripples. Next moment, only heard the sharp sound of breaking the wind, a blood-red figure swept out of the stream of desolate poison like lightning. A huge dragon wing of 100 feet long stretched out from behind it. Behind the figure, there is a blood-colored scorpion tail that is more than 10 meters long, and the tip of the tail shows a sharp cold light. Impressive. That dragon chant was hissing out from his mouth. In an instant, the poisonous gas is overwhelming. If someone is here, he must be clear about his identity, and he is indeed a hegemon in this desperate and poisonous stream. The power of the monster race, the scorpion dragon beast. According to the cultivation level of the sky realm, the monster race and the human race are obviously very different. And this sky poisonous scorpion dragon beast is an existence that has reached the 7th level. Yaozu. Generally speaking, in addition to the respect of blood, Yaozu has a strict class system. The most important point is the strength cultivation base. Tier 1 to 6. Unless there is a 7th order transforming pill, or wild transforming grass, it cannot be separated from the body of the monster. Only at the 7th level or above can they emerge autonomously by virtue of their strength. And the sky poison scorpion dragon beast in front of him is a 7th order demon clan, whose strength is so powerful that he can be called a mighty one. Yaozu, mighty, ... Dragon clan side branch. The 7th order sky poisonous dragon beast. Sky realm, falling into the poisonous stream. Take charge of a side of poisonous fog force. After receiving the traversal information, Su Lai was dumbfounded. At this moment, there is only one thought in his mind, that is, this template is wrong. That's right. Su Lai is a traverser, but he didn't expect to kill him. What he traversed was not a sage villain, nor a righteous master. It's a powerful monster. Su Lai is obviously familiar with this kind of opening template. The so-called monster power. If there is no accident, it is basically to give experience to the protagonist and improve the favorability of the heroine. Well known. The last name is a very important link in the online literature circle of the novel. For example, the 4 surnames of Yi, Xiao, Chu, and Lin are also called the 4 major families. These are the 4 major families in which fantasy is most likely to be the protagonist. First is Yi's surname. It is the most well-deserved surname of the fantasy, known as the immortal Emperor Tianzun thousands of thousands, and the Yi family accounted for half. Like what Yi Tiandi, Yi Chen, Yi Wuxi and so on. And Xiao's surname is not bad. What Yan Di, what myriad tribulations supreme, almighty immortal venerable, a lot. For the surname Chu, Chu Feng, Chu Yang, Chu Shu, etc., they are also big men who are not weaker than others. Let alone the Lin surname. The big brother Tianzun is everywhere. Su Lai originally thought that he was a monster of the monster at the beginning, and he didn't need to be like those Xiaobai, and he was quite satisfied from the beginning. Result. Before he was happy, he suddenly realized that his template was wrong. The power of the monster race. What the hell? This is so clear that it is a template for giving the protagonist experience. More importantly, through this understanding, he had discovered that what he had traveled through was a fantasy novel that he had read before. Own the powerful scorpion dragon of the monster race. It is in the novel that the protagonist saves one of the harems, and by the way is a stepping stone to his favorability. And, still the kind of mortal, irreplaceable villain little boss. Knowing such a truth, Su Lai no longer knows whether he should cry or laugh. You are kidding. That's okay. the start is the power of the demon clan, and also has the blood of the dragon clan. At the same time, he holds a small force, so he can be regarded as a small boss. This is the beginning, not to mention that it's very good, but it's not bad. However, do you need to say more about the ending of a small boss? In any novel plot, as long as it is a villain boss, no matter how big or small, isn't it used to send experience and get good impressions? Quote. Thinking of this, Su Lai was a little speechless at the moment. After a long time, Su Lai finally accepted this fact: the power of the monster is the power of the monster. Talking, Su Lai's eyes also showed a gloomy color, and murmured, "Destined to die in the hands of the protagonist. Hee, since I was given a chance to cross this time, then this time, I will take the initiative to fight, take the initiative to grab, I kill people, it is better than people kill me." Figured out this section, Su Lai also tentatively called out in his heart to see if he has Goldfinger. Is there a system? Don't say it. His attempt, sure enough, had a response. Ding, the God-level villain system is here for you. Is it bound? Suddenly, a mechanical voice rang in Su Lai's mind. You still need to ask. Bind, ... Open black lens bracket ding, close black lens bracket. The system starts to bind. Congratulations to the host, bind the God-level villain system. The purpose of this system, the heavens and the world, the villain is invincible. Close black lens bracket. Thank you for reading this story at mtlnation.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Host, Su Lai. Identity, Sky Poison Dragon Beast. Bloodline, Paragon of Archaic Dragon, Scorpion Dragon. Power, Desperate Poison Stream. Grade, 7th. Subordinates. Open black lens bracket. Hello host, I am very happy to serve you. The full name of this system, God-level villain system. The purpose is to help the host become the king of anti-routines, the ultimate villain. Close black lens bracket. Of course, in this process, the system will also give rewards based on the host's performance. After understanding the system, Su Lai also transformed his scorpion dragon body into a human form. Laugh. The blood-red figure hovered in the sky, and the huge dragon wing behind it slowly fanned, bringing up gusts of wind. Obviously, as an outstanding member of the Scorpion Dragon clan, Su Lai's appearance is also extremely beautiful, even faintly, with the smell of evil charm. Have to say, this look, among the handsome readers before the crossing, is of a very flavorful category. Ha, God-level villain system. It seems that the system can't stand it. I'm going to be a complete villain. Immediately, Su Lai's expression moved. I just don't know what time it is now. What stage has the plot developed? If there is no God-level villain system, Su Lai's idea is at best to save himself, and by the way, think about how to scam. And now that he has the Goldfinger system, it is more than just self-help. Leader. At this time, there was a voice under the poisonous fog. And Su Lai also cleaned up his thoughts, and the figure slowly fell from the sky. What's the matter? Report to the leader. Someone trespassed on me and fell into a poisonous stream. ... Through the memory of the predecessor. Combining Su Lai's omniscience as a traveler, Su Lai instantly recognized that the person in front of him was the subjugator of the predecessor. Sixth Order, Magic Blood Ape. As a monster of a family of monsters, close to the 7th Order existence, the 6th Order monsters are already able to speak. The monster beasts of this class have already developed their spiritual wisdom. Wisdom is not lower than human beings. Many things under his hands, the predecessor Scorpion Dragon Beast was instructed to do it. Now, seeing Su Lai's gaze, the Blood Ape also respectfully said, "This person's identity is a bit unusual." As he said, he looked at Su Lai with a different expression. Recently, this woman was in Zhongzhou to stir up anime and the wind. Said it possesses the legendary celestial poison body. Heavenly poison body. Sure enough, it appeared. According to Su Lai's memory, a confidant of the protagonist is a body of heavenly poison that has been rare for thousands of years. This physique can almost be said to be inherently poisonous, and those who touch it will die. It is to practice by taking poison. However, the more celestial poisonous body takes poison, the more concentrated the toxins in the body will be. When the toxins in the body condense to a certain point, it will completely explode. At the time of the explosion, thousands of miles away can destroy all vitality. It is the terrible nature of the poisonous body. Undoubtedly, as one of the protagonist's confidants, under the protagonist's halo, although the celestial poison is like a time bomb, it can also be controlled. And what is needed by this method of control is the magic core of the 7th Order Sky Poisonous Dragon Beast. Follow the original plot. Su Lai's predecessor, the Sky Poison Dragon Beast, only played 3 chapters in the midterm and was destroyed. But now, everything is different. Original. The plot has developed to this point. Unfortunately, if I crossed a little earlier, I would directly grab a series of opportunities for the protagonist, and I don't even need to save myself. See Su Lai being silent. The magic blood ape also showed a fierce look. Boss, or let's capture the poisonous girl that day. At that time, with the strength of the leader, it will not be a problem to hit the 8th rank. Obviously, this magical blood ape is not stupid, knowing that if Su Lai does not break through, he will become an 8th rank. It would not have the opportunity to hit the 7th Order. As the leader of one party, it is absolutely impossible to allow his subordinates to be the same class as him and shake their status. Even if one is just entering the 7th rank, and the other is already the pinnacle of the 7th. The protagonist hasn't appeared yet, the protagonist's confidant has committed danger first. Su Lai secretly said in his heart. According to this kind of routine, it is basically a villain who first shows a wave of existence, and then is forced to kill by the protagonist to send a wave of experience. After all, how could the protagonist suffer? The current protagonist, not to mention that the general situation is complete, at least he has a lot of whole cards, enough to fight higher. The predecessor, the Sky Poisonous Dragon Beast, has been jumping for a few chapters. Then he gave the protagonist a big gift bag and received the lunch by himself. Recalling these plots, Su Lai didn't have a different color on the surface, waved his hand, and said calmly, I know about the heavenly poison girl. I have my own arrangements. Coming across, how could Su Lai be willing to let all this happen? This moment, in his mind, 2 countermeasures also emerged instantly. First, while the protagonist has not yet arrived, combine the strength of the enemies of several protagonists to siege and kill the protagonist. However, the protagonist, as the son of destiny, can't beat Xiaoqiang. I'm afraid it's not that easy to kill. Even if Su Lai is a traverser and knows the protagonist's whole cards, who knows if the opponent will have any more variables? The feasibility of this one is too low. Second, starting from the Sky Poison Girl, Su Lai couldn't help but shook his head and laughed. No surprise. The villain always starts with self-help. Desperate. Su Lai was standing on it at the moment, looking far away, and most of the horrible and poisonous stream could be seen in full view. Turning his head to look, he found the Sky Poison Girl at a glance. Boom, boom. I saw that she was besieged by Su Lai's men, but she always appeared calm and unhurried, killing one step at a time. She fell into the poisonous stream here, and was not affected by the poisonous gas at all. After a lot of fighting, the land that fell into a poisonous stream has been dyed blood red. To this, Su Lai looked calm and didn't care, witnessing the killing of the Sky Poison Girl. Have to say, although she is famous for being poisonous, the temperament of the Heavenly Poison Girl is exceptionally fresh and ethereal. Wearing a pale white dress, although his appearance is not the top-notch allure, it can also be said to be a rare beauty. Especially her pair of pupils. Just like Wang Chushui, gentle, quiet, and peaceful, one can't help but be attracted. Obviously, the confidant who can become the protagonist is enough to show how beautiful this Heavenly Poison Girl is. It's worthy of being one of the heroines. Su Lai sighed. As a traverser, although there is a description of the face of a poisonous woman in his memory, he is still amazed when he really sees her. But, although she was astounded by the appearance of the Sky Poison Girl, Su Lai's appearance was still completely colorless. He is not the predecessor, and he will not be like the predecessor, the Sky Poison Dragon Beast. Seeing the poisonous girl, she couldn't walk. After all, he is not the kind of poisonous brain silly of his predecessor, but a villain who travels through. The poison girl's cultivation level this day is not much weaker than me. As Su Lai thought, the reason why the Heavenly Poison Girl in front entered the dangerous place, she could still remain calm. Her confidence is derived from her cultivation base, which is the realm of psychic abilities. Great power, corresponding to the power of the 7th Order Monster Clan. According to the development of the plot, the protagonist has not rushed to join the Sky Poison Girl, so he should still stay in the realm of the most human. I haven't broken through that last step and stepped into the realm of Tongshan power. However, it is estimated that with the protagonist's cultivation speed, the breakthrough will be only a matter of 2 months. The realm of practice in the Sky Realm. According to the setting in Su Lai's memory, the beginning is the awakening stage, which is divided into 9 stages, which belongs to the stage of building a foundation and polishing the body. Then there are moving blood, shackles, transforming spirits, dongtian, and reaching people. It also corresponds to Tier 1 to Tier 6 of the Monster Beast class. Similar to the monster, its corresponding rank 6 to the human realm is the ultimate human being. The monsters and beasts have reached the limit of energy storage and are ready to transform, and the human side is also in this state, reaching the limit of the human body. Arrived in this state, can be called the Emperor. Even the small country where the protagonist came from, the royal ancestor of the strongest, is just the pinnacle of the human realm. Follow the timeline. Today's protagonist should be the pinnacle of the realm of humanity. Above it, that is the realm of supernatural powers. Breaking through this realm and possessing all kinds of supernatural powers is a kind of leap in the level of life. Monster. It can be transformed into a human form. Terran. It can break the bondage between the heaven and the earth, and then walk on the sky. This realm is already capable of using all kinds of magical powers, and in the entire sky, they are absolute masters. Su Lai today is the 7th Order monster power. Above the 7th Order, it is divided into 3 realms: the nobleman, the saint, and the great emperor. Of course, from the perspective of a normal person, the vast majority of people spend their entire lives, not to mention that they have never seen these 3 realms before. Here, just as Su Lai was looking at the Sky Poison Girl, the group of poison monsters also discovered the location of their leader. This reaction naturally affected the latter. Just below, the eyebrows of Xiaoyaoshan Tianpoxian girl wrinkled slightly, with a different kind of beauty, thrilling. The monster power transformed into a human form. The leader of this desolate poisonous stream must be the 7th rank. Xiaoyaoshan admits himself. Although she also has the strength to match the power of the 7th Order Monster Clan, she is now chased and killed all the way, which consumes a lot of money. May not be able to beat the opponent. Not to mention, this place is still the home of the opponent's territory, and there are so many subordinates nearby. However, she hasn't waited for her to think about countermeasures. In the next instant, Xiaoyaoshan stunned her pretty face, and found that the monster beasts that besieged her had stopped. Original. I don't know when Su Lai's figure has already fallen. Seeing Su Lai rushing over, the monsters in the poisonous stream also hurriedly bowed to greet them. The figure flashes down. Su Lai glanced at the corpses all over the floor, and said calmly, "Stop it all." Hearing this, all the monsters present were taken aback. Although many of their companions had been killed today, their combined force was still extremely powerful, and there was certainly no big problem in capturing the poisonous girl. And his own leader, the 7th Order Mighty, didn't make a move. Why did he stop his move? Leader. When I was puzzled, some of my subordinates hurriedly set out. However, their questioning has not been blurted yet. Su Lai's pair of evil eyes swept slowly, and his voice calmly said, "Which one of you has an opinion?" Was swept by Su Lai's evil eyes. All the monsters present there was a chill all over, and immediately swallowed the questioning words in their mouths. Their leaders have spoken, what else can they say? Next moment, the tension in the poisonous stream suddenly disappeared. Call. Xiaoyaoshan let out a sigh of relief in secret. Seeing this as no longer a slaying resolute, down the steps, do not be surprised if you are trespassing on expensive sites. Talking. Xiaoyaoshan also bowed slightly to apologize. In fact, she really didn't want to come down with the poisonous stream, she was purely chased all the way to this point. According to her plan, this trip is just to rendezvous with Xiaofan. If there are no special circumstances, I don't want to have trouble. But there are some things that you can't avoid even if you want to avoid it. Heavenly poison body. This kind of frighteningly weird physique is naturally avoided by everyone. Because they all know what terrible things will happen once the celestial poison body finally erupts, they can't wait to get rid of her in advance. Thought of this, Xiao Yaoshan was also quite helpless. Who would have thought that, as a celestial poison body, her greatest wish is to become a pharmacist who can save the dead and heal the wounded. However, the existence of the celestial poison body destined her to only be with poison for the rest of her life. I've heard the name of the heavenly poison girl. With that said, Su Lai also had profound meaning, staring at Xiao Yaoshan's beautiful face. I saw it today, it was amazing. Hearing this, Xiao Yaoshan stagnated, his face slowly dignified, his face sinking like water. A move in my heart, secretly careful. My physique may be a deadly poison to ordinary people, but to this poisonous monster beast, it is a rare top-level medicine. Although the opponent doesn't know what the body of a monster beast is, since it can dominate this poisonous stream, I am afraid it is also a poisonous attribute. Immediately, Xiao Yaoshan analyzed his own situation extremely thoroughly. Since the misunderstanding is resolved, then don't pass it. The voice falls. Xiao Yaoshan completely recovered his calm, and after speaking, he turned around and wanted to leave. However, Su Lai smiled slightly. Please stay. As this sentence fell, the atmosphere in the poisonous stream suddenly became tense again. Upon seeing this, Xiao Yaoshan's pupils shrank slightly. He returned to normal immediately, and asked indifferently, I wonder what else is yours? Su Lai chuckled. Zhongzhou is not peaceful lately. The poisonous body has disturbed the wind and rain in the animation. If you go out this time, I am afraid that you will be chased and killed immediately. Why don't you just stay here in my desperate situation, so that I can take care of it? Hear the words. Xiao Yaoshan frowned slightly, his thoughts flashing. Su Lai's remarks are obviously nonsense with open eyes. Zhongzhou is not at peace. Isn't it necessary for you to be peaceful? She hadn't forgotten, whose subordinate just now, shouted at herself. Right now, Xiao Yaoshan slowly shook his head. Thank you for your kindness, but please forgive me that I still have important things to do and cannot stay here. Su Lai chuckled, it's okay, everyone also has poison attributes. Maybe I can help a little bit with you. Hearing this, Xiao Yaoshan was speechless for a while. Her words can be heard by an individual, obviously perfunctory, and it is impossible not to hear her words with the other party's mind. But by the way, Su Lai opened his eyes and said nonsense again and again, which was obviously unreasonable. What kind of medicine is sold in this calabash gourd? Xiao Yaoshan took a deep look at Su Lai, and his thoughts flashed. After a while, her pretty face gradually became serious. What is your purpose? You might as well just say it. Ha ha, Su Lai smiled, I can't talk about the purpose, but... He paused, and then spoke softly. I'm just a little interested in such a rare physique as the sky poison body. Really? Or for his own poisonous body? Xiao Yaoshan's autumn-like eyes flashed with different colors, and there was less disgust for Su Lai's straightforwardness. What if I say no? But even so, it does not mean that Xiao Yaoshan will agree. Although she didn't know what the other party was thinking, she was always prepared to report it. Ha ha, Su Lai replied with a smile after hearing the words. But the words were extremely strong. I believe the lady will not reject my proposal, because my body is a 7th-order sky poisonous dragon beast. What? Xiao Yaoshan thought of various reasons, but he did not expect Su Lai to report himself. As a result, after hearing the words, she was also taken aback, her red lips slightly opened. Sky poison dragon beast. This is exactly what she learned from Xiao Fan, one of the keys to controlling her own celestial poison. Thought of this, Xiao Yaoshan took a deep look at Su Lai, and found that the other person was also staring at him closely, even more awe-inspiring in his heart. Contact the other party's suspected words of retaining yourself. Could it be that this person also knows how to control the sky poison body? Xiao Yaoshan secretly asked, unpredictable. For a time, Xiao Yaoshan also squinted his eyes slightly, projecting a light of thought, and carefully looked at the person in front of him. And Su Lai was unmoved. He was very frank and made no secret of his intention to stay with Xiao Yaoshan. As if not afraid of Xiao Yaoshan forcibly leaving the poisonous stream, the people of the holy places outside will never let you go. If you choose to stay here, you can fix it and restore your strength. How to choose, it shouldn't be difficult for the young lady. After speaking, Su Lai stopped talking, his expression was flat, his eyes were deep, and he looked at Xiao Yaoshan quietly, waiting for the other party's answer. That's it. The two of them didn't say anything, just staring at each other without taking a step back. The atmosphere in the field gradually condensed, and it was terribly suppressed. Along the way, I have resisted the chasing of those sacred powers. Now I am not only seriously injured, but also consumes a lot of money. It is difficult for me to exert my strength. Xiao Yaoshan quickly calculated. When it comes to the multitude of people and the means, the opponent, as the hegemon of one party, is definitely worse than me. If you really want to go to war, I will definitely suffer. Although I can unlock the poisonous body seal and force a battle with it, the cost of waiting will be too great. Xiao Yaoshan shook his head secretly. Finally gave up the idea of forcibly leaving. Okay, I stay. ... Ding, congratulations to the host, change the plot, and initially succeeded in self-help. Close black lens bracket. Ding, congratulations to the host, get plus 500 villain value. Close black lens bracket. Ding, because the host has initiated the villain's first step in self-rescue, it will enhance the bloodline of the Scorpion Dragon clan and become the bloodline of the royal clan. Ding, the host's current bloodline, Scorpion Dragon royal family. And just when Xiao Yaoshan made a decision, Su Lai's ear also sounded one after another system prompts. Immediately, when the Scorpion Dragon bloodline was upgraded to the royal family, Su Lai only felt that there was a layer of blood yolk on him. Suddenly it became heavier and more refined. The feeling is very strange, I can't see through it, but Su Lai can be sure that it really exists. Is the royal bloodline of the Scorpion Dragon tribe. Su Lai's thoughts flashed, and he instantly guessed. Although I was also of the Scorpion Dragon bloodline before, it was obviously only at the ordinary level, and not at the Scorpion royal level. This system has improved my bloodline, obviously it has further strengthened my monster bloodline. The blood of the monster race. Just like the natural aptitude of the human race, it is innate. The higher the bloodline, the higher the future achievements. To a certain extent, like aptitude, the blood of the monster race is unchangeable. Just like the Scorpion Dragon beast of Su Lai's predecessor. With his demon clan bloodline, he can easily cultivate to the 7th order power level, but that's all. If you want to break through to a higher level, such as the 8th level venerable realm. Without great opportunity, great luck is basically impossible. His bloodline dictates that the 7th rank is the limit. Now, with this royal bloodline of the Scorpion Dragon tribe, Su Lai can completely try to attack the 8th order venerable. In addition, the blood of the Scorpion Dragon royal family has brought Su Lai more than that. If it is said that Su Lai before, the bloodline of the Sky Poison Dragon beast is in the monster race, it can be regarded as a relatively ordinary existence in the upper class. Then the royal blood brought him. It is to make it truly into the ranks of the rare blood. Scorpion Dragon royal blood. As soon as he thought of this, Su Lai's eyes suddenly burst into light. After crossing over, how to carry out the villain's self-rescue is Su Lai's biggest problem, but now it seems that the existence of the system has made him a huge gain. At the same time, Su Lai also noticed his own villain value usage. Changing the plot can cause the Child of Destiny to lose luck and gain villain value. Villain value can be used for system lottery. It is clear, standing with Su Lai at such a close distance, Xiao Yaoshan seemed to have discovered the difference between the former. Just a moment, she vaguely felt a sense of intimacy. This sense of closeness seems to come from the natural closeness of the same poisonous attribute, but only Xiao Yaoshan knows it. Before, she could completely rely on the horror of her own celestial poison body to cut off this sense of attraction. But at the moment, after she severed, she still felt the intimacy between the same poisonous attributes. Such circumstances, either Su Lai's Scorpion Dragon bloodline, which is higher than she thought. Either Su Lai hides his blood. Thinking like this, Xiao Yaoshan's autumn water-like eyes fell on Su Lai, and a touch of fear flashed away. Immediately his pupils shrank slightly, and my heart secretly said, whatever it is, this guy, obviously is more terrifying than I thought. Certainly, even so, Xiao Yaoshan did not worry about his safety. since she dared to make such a decision. There is also a very important reason, that is, as a celestial poison body, no matter what methods Sulai has, she is not afraid of it. It's nothing more than the strength of unlocking the seal. Anxious her. The big deal, the seal was fully open to detonate the celestial poisonous body, and everyone died together, and no one could please. Later, Xiao Yaoshan reported his name and said, "Little Yaoshan. Don't know how your excellency is called. My name is Su Lai." Su Lai smiled and glanced at Xiao Yaoshan profoundly. With his mind, would he not see the change in the latter's mind? It's just that he didn't plan to start with Xiao Yaoshan. He only took the first step of the villain's self-saving road, and he had more methods in the back. Ha ha. While talking and laughing, Su Lai waved his big hand, and the monster beasts under him scattered one by one. Please. Once a decision is made, Xiao Yaoshan once again restores her calm and gentle temperament. Looking at Su Lai, he smiled slightly and said, "Leader Su Lai, with such a strong leadership ability, he deserves to be a depressed overlord." Xiao Yaoshan joked. Although it's good to fall into the poisonous stream, it's also difficult to get into the eyes of your law. Immediately, Xiao Yaoshan, led by Su Lai, flew to his palace. Su Lai replied, "I know that you have been seriously injured along the way. I believe I need to find a place to heal my injuries quietly. On my territory, you can rest assured to heal your injuries. Please." Looking at Su Lai without being artificial, Xiao Yaoshan looked thoughtful. What the hell is this guy? What is he doing? I thought that Su Lai was coveting his beauty and the special physique of the poisonous body. I don't want the other party to walk so calmly. It should be understood that as a poisonous beast, his own celestial poison is like a great tonic to the poisonous beast. Can Su Lai be able to bear it? It can be seen how much perseverance and patience is required. It's important to heal the wound first. Thinking of this, Xiao Yaoshan also shook his head, looked for a training room, and walked in. One thing Su Lai is right. She was injured badly, and she really needs some healing. At this stage, only when it returns to its heyday can we have the courage to face all problems directly. L. Desperate. The stone castle palace of the scorpion dragon beast. Su Lai sat cross-legged, with a rigorous expression on her face, staring inwardly. Obviously, at this moment, he is also studying his own bloodline of the scorpion dragon royal family. The monster clan pays attention to bloodline, and the bloodline of the scorpion dragon clan contains a trace of the ancient dragon bloodline, which is the upper monster clan. However, the ancient dragon bloodline contained in the scorpion dragon tribe is just a trace. Normally, the sky poisonous scorpion dragon beast is up to the sky, and can only cultivate to the peak of the 7th order monster clan's power, and can't cross the step of the noble state. This is the shackles in the blood. Originally, Su Lai's predecessor had been stuck at this step, unable to advance to the 8th level. That's why she coveted Xiao Yaoshan's sky poison body, wanted to take the opponent, occupied her body, and use the sky poison body's toxicity in one fell swoop to attack the tier 8 monster beast. But as it is now, it doesn't have to be that complicated. At this moment, in Su Lai's sea of qi, the blood of the scorpion dragon royal family surged, the waves were surging to the sky, and the golden demon power rose in his body. Set off his whole person, just like the same god of war. If Xiao Yaoshan were here, it would not be difficult to find out. The aura exuding from Su Lai's body is actually even more terrifying. Vaguely, it has already touched the 8th level. Such a change is terrifying. What is even more terrifying? This is the result of Su Lai's failure to attack tier 8. If not, at this time, he might have half the chance to become a real tier 8 monster. Venerable comparable to the human race. Although he still hasn't been able to break through to tier 8 today, my current combat power. Even if it's a real venerable state, you should have a little confidence to face it. Su Lai said softly, with an extremely confident tone. After all, originally, he was the power of the monster race at the 7th order peak, and with the bloodline right now, he was refined to the level of the scorpion dragon royal family. This brings Su Lai's strength to the next level. Of course, face-to-face does not mean fighting at a higher level. Su Lai now only has the qualification to challenge the venerable level. Really want to fight. Even the weakest elementary venerable is not something Su Lai can handle, unless he can break through the 8th level. Now I have touched the edge of the 8th level. If you want to hit the 8th rank, you can do it at any time. Su Lai secretly said in his heart. There was a hint of unspeakable comprehension in his heart, which made him restrain the idea of breaking through. Impact does not mean success. As a villain, Su Lai is facing the protagonist's murder. Su Lai knew that it was impossible for him to successfully break through the 8th level just because of the protagonist's luck. This is a kind of suppression, which can also be said to be the influence of the son of Qian. If you really want to hit the 8th level, you should wait until the protagonist is besieged and defeated. Su Lai thought about it a little, and then made up his mind. 2 days later, the voice commanding the magic blood ape came from outside the stone castle palace, the leader. Come in. With Su Lai's answer, the blood ape entered the hall. Boss, there is already news about what you asked me to investigate. In Zhongzhou recently, a guy named Xiao Fan really popped up. This guy, I don't know where it came from. It can be said that it has stirred up the holy land of wind and thunder, and has been uneasy. Talking. The blood ape also informed Su Lai of the rumors from the protagonist Xiao Fan during this period of time. From beginning to end, Su Lai was listening quietly. In my heart, I also secretly compared it with the development in his plot. Then he nodded secretly. Fortunately, at least as far as the current situation is concerned, it is basically consistent with the plot I understand, and there is no situation that I am worried about. The plot develops normally, so Su Lai can at least take advantage of everything. Only by killing Xiao Fan can he complete the villain's self-saving, so that I can write a chapter of my villain. Thought of this, Su Lai's eyes instantly became cold. Even if you haven't seen Xiao Fan, the protagonist, it doesn't prevent him from killing Xiao Fan. Since the relationship between him and the other party is destined to be hostile and there is no possibility of reconciliation, then the only result is to kill you to death. To this, as a traverser, Su Lai has no psychological barriers. The dead Dao friend does not die the poor Dao. If the protagonist Xiao Fan could not be killed before he became an emperor, then his own ending would be almost doomed. Give me the person who contacted the Holy Land of Wind and Thunder, and help me send a message to that core. Think about it. Su Lai also looked cold and indifferent, and ordered. Xiao Fan, as the protagonist of pretending to be forced to flow, is basically where people see others stepping on them, so that he pretends to be slapped in the face. So along the way, Xiao Fan also offended all the forces. Holy Land of Wind and Thunder. Among them, he offended the most ruthless force. It just so happens, the Wind and Thunder Holy Land Su Lai was looking for, the core true biography Feng Shan'er, was a mortal enemy of Xiao Fan. Thinking about it, she would be happy to be a killer for Su Lai. Leader, please say. Blood ape respectfully should be. That said, Xiao Fan not only stole the essence of the ancient golden phoenix, but also stripped its bones and wings to develop a fighting skill. Su Lai thought for a while and said softly. Hearing the name of the ancient golden phoenix, the blood ape shrank upon hearing the words, and instinctively a look of horror rose. Dare to steal the essence and blood of the ancient golden phoenix, and debone it for refining. This is piercing the sky. After all, that is the top bloodline among the monster clan. Go. Su Lai obviously didn't want to explain too much. After speaking, he waved his hand to signal the blood ape to retreat. After the blood ape is gone, Su Lai's face suddenly showed a weird smile. However, it is not enough to be a sacred place of wind and thunder. In addition to the Holy Land of Wind and Thunder, there seem to be several holy places to borrow swords. Asterisk. Have to say, the biggest advantage of the villain boss is that you don't have to do everything yourself. Su Lai, as the overlord of the poisonous side, has many monsters under his hand, and many things are just a sentence. Undoubtedly, this is also the advantage of the villain. It is different from the Son of Destiny, who pretends to slap his face wherever he goes. The next day, a monster under the blood ape's hand replied. Report to the chief that Feng Lei Sacred Land has passed the news to Feng Shan'er through their communication methods. Good. Su Lai nodded, Jiyu Jing Wubo, and said, does Feng Shan'er already know? According to the words of the leader of the blood ape, that Feng Shan'er didn't really believe the news we gave. Yao Beast's subordinates respectfully said. After a pause, she continued. However, although she did not express her belief, she still left the Holy Land of Wind and Thunder in the first time. Su Lai nodded slightly, and said in thought, Feng Shan'er is not stupid, it is impossible to completely listen to the words of this seat. If I'm not wrong, she's leaving Wind and Thunder Holy Land this time, she should be exploring Xiao Fan's problems secretly through her own channels. With her character, if you can't be sure whether the news given by this seat is true, you will definitely come to me. However, this is not enough. Speaking of which, Su Lai's face full of evil and handsome beauty showed a color of thinking. The eyes are deep, as if there are stars changing. After a long while, he whispered, send the order to the Blood Ape, the Wind and Thunder sacred place has something to do, so you don't have to rush back. Go directly to the Heavenly Demon Palace. Subordinates are now ruling the leader of the Blood Apes. Attention, let the Blood Ape be on the side of the branch hall of the Heavenly Demon Palace, and spread the news that you saw Xiao Fan in Zhongzhou. Su Lai's smile gradually became cold and said, remember, don't advertise, but pretend to accidentally leak the effect. As long as the people in the Temple of Heavenly Devil are aware of those people who are not ghosts or ghosts, it is good to know, otherwise it will be too late, and it will be easy to have troubles. Hearing that, the subordinate of the monster beast also said in a serious way. Subordinates do it now. Su Lai nodded when he heard the words. He was quite relieved of the monsters under his hand. This matter, I want you to finish it within 2 days. Yes, the demon beast subordinates looked solemn, and they felt the killing intent of their leader more and more. To know, judging from the strength and status of his own leader sitting on the entire desolate poisonous stream, it is worth his attention, but not much. Anything that happened before can be handled directly by them. But now, it is also the Holy Land of Wind and Thunder, and also the sub-temple of the Temple of Heavenly Demon, so solemnly arranged. It can be seen that a terrifying game is definitely being laid out. Go ahead. Su Lai waved his hand and motioned to the monster beast to take the order to leave. Inside the empty stone castle palace, only Su Lai is left at this time. And his eyes seemed to have evil murderous rotations, like a river of stars, whispering to himself. He, son of destiny. This time I can be regarded as painstakingly. I did not hesitate to lay out the Wind and Thunder sacred land and the Heavenly Demon Temple to build such a killing game for you, but I don't know. Little Yaoshan, is it worth your battle? ... Since the arrangement is over, Su Lai has never been out of the Stone Castle Palace again. Almost all the time is spent on cultivation. Su Lai is not a cultivator. But as a villain, his self-help has just begun, and the way forward is unknown. He has always had a sense of urgency for things beyond his control, and this sense of urgency is constantly forcing him to adapt to the strength of his predecessor as soon as possible. But even so, he knew everything about the poisonous stream, and even the news outside the poisonous stream. Every day, snow-like news gathered in his stone castle palace, and after confirmation by the Blood Ape, his monster subordinates would report to Su Lai. The training room not far away. For several days, Xiao Yaoshan was similar to Su Lai, and he was also simple. It seems, stirring the sky over Zhongzhou, Xiao Yaoshan's injuries will not be light, otherwise it will not heal for so long. Regarding this, Su Lai neither worried nor paid attention. The reason why he forced Xiao Yaoshan to stay in his own territory was only for this terrifying killing. As for Xiao Yaoshan's retreat, he couldn't heal his injuries, so he was happy that he didn't need to explain anything. This day, it had always been calm and unwavering, but in vain, there was a clear and loud phoenix harp. Suddenly, Su Lai, who felt the sound of the phoenix yin, was also awakened in self-cultivation. Is it finally here? During the cultivation, he naturally sensed the aura of the high-ranking monster race, appeared outside of the poisonous stream, and was approaching quickly. The huge Wind and Thunder vision. After a few breaths, he appeared in the desolate poisonous stream. After entering the desolate poisonous stream, the vision suddenly trembled and turned into an extremely beautiful figure, slowly falling from the void. It's such a moment of effort. Many of Su Lai's subordinates were in a trembled heart. What happened? That phoenix hum, could it be that the true phoenix from my monster clan came here? It's terrible, the monster blood in my body, faced with a phoenix scream, can hardly help trembling. As they thought, this time, Feng Shan'er, who Su Lai is waiting for, is here. *. The true phoenix family. Among the population of monster beasts, it is the existence that truly stands at the top. Monster beasts are different from human races, and human races build a holy land power in a way of inheritance and teaching. But the monster clan is more famous. And the true phoenix, like the top holy land of the human race, in the food chain of the monster beast family, they belong to the true top level. The weakest of every true phoenix bloodline is a high-ranking monster race. And shortly after being born, as long as he passed through the ancestors of the true phoenix clan in order to unlock his spiritual wisdom, he would be able to leap to 5 levels in one fell swoop. Tier 5. He is already a strong man in the cave and heaven realm of the human race, and he can be called a king. After adulthood, most of the true phoenixes are in the 7th rank, and the best among them is the terrifying point of being able to set foot on the 8th rank. Certainly, the stronger the bloodline, the more often the number is destined to not be too much. But even so, the true number of the Sky Monster Phoenix clan is not many, but it still holds a pivotal position in this sky. How could they not be surprised when such a true phoenix bloodline appeared in the poisonous stream today? Stone Fort Palace. Hearing the sound of the phoenix, the demon-moving blood ape guarding the outside suddenly stood up, as if encountering a major enemy. It is clear, although it had sent news to Feng Shan'er, after all, she had not seen Feng Shan'er's deity. Now suppressed by the momentum of his blood, it is inevitable to be a little flustered. A family of monsters and beasts, blood is respected. The blood ape of the 6th rank, facing the suppression of the true phoenix bloodline, also seemed a little apprehensive. Leader, blood ape, your concentration still needs to be tempered. Su Lai frowned slightly, glanced at the blood ape faintly, and then turned his gaze to the desolate poisonous stream. And just this one. The magic blood ape trembled again, and after a long while, he smiled bitterly. The leader has taught him the right thing, and made the leader laugh. To know, Su Lai next to him, although he has the blood of the Scorpion Dragon clan, is still inferior to the true phoenix. But what about Su Lai? Facing Feng Shan'er deliberately displaying a bloodline shock, she still remained calm. This is the gap. As expected to be the leader. Demon Blood Ape sighed in his heart, and his awe for Su Lai was even greater. Where does it know? Su Lai at this time is no longer the ordinary scorpion blood, but the real scorpion royal blood. On the cultivation base, Feng Shan'er had just stepped into the 7th level. Compared to Su Lai about to hit the 8th level, the gap was more than a star and a half. On blood, it is true that Feng Shan'er possesses the blood of the true phoenix, but it is only an ordinary true phoenix blood, not the true phoenix royal family. With such an almost equal situation, Feng Shan'er, to Su Lai. That's it. Su Lai took a faint glance at the blood ape under him, then ignored it, and cast his gaze on Feng Shan'er again. Looking at it from a distance, I saw Feng Shan'er's appearance, just like her phoenix-like character. There is a noble temperament that is difficult to conceal. Have to say, born in the true Phoenix clan, and the core true biography of Wind and Thunder Sacred Land, Feng Shan'er had this capital. However, the capital belongs to the capital, which does not mean that Su Lai wants to buy her account. In an instant, a monstrous aura rose from Su Lai's body. Looking at Feng Shan'er with his eyes like electricity, he whispered softly. Desperate and poisonous. It's not the place where your true Phoenix clan will show off their might, at least, you Feng Shan'er can't do it. Also at this moment, the bloodline of the Scorpion Dragon royal family at the peak of the 7th order rushed out unreservedly. As Su Lai's aura exploded, almost instantly, it was forcibly shaking away the oncoming true Phoenix coercion. Step, step, step. Faced with such a terrifying aura, she suddenly counterattacked. Feng Shan'er's complexion suddenly changed, and she stepped back 2 steps in a row. Soon, after Feng Shan'er stabilized her figure, her eyes were filled with shock, and she looked towards its source. Stone Fort Palace. Except for the 6th order magic blood ape. She surprisingly discovered that the handsome and evil young man directly suppressed her. This kind of blood pressure is obviously not weaker than her. How can it be? A mere dreadful poisonous stream, there is such a master. Feng Shan'er's heart was like a stormy sea. Although she hadn't seen the sky-poison scorpion dragon beast before, as the overlord of one party, the strength of the other party was too rich. Look at it. The opponent seems to be more than just a 7th order sky-poisonous scorpion dragon beast. I am afraid that it is not far from the 8th step. No doubt, This discovery made Feng Shan'er feel awe-inspiring. She originally planned to use the name of the true Phoenix clan to deter the poisonous beasts that fell into the wild, thus occupying the absolute initiative, asking about Xiao Fan. When necessary, she even planned to use all the poisonous beasts to use it for her to help her capture Xiao Fan. After all, this kind of thing is extremely common in the blood-respected monster clan. And now, it was obvious that her abacus was in vain. Think about it. Feng Shan'er suppressed his coercion and arrogance, and reported to Su Lai. True Phoenix family, Feng Shan'er. Hear the words. Su Lai was flying through the void, a battle robe that was blown by the wind to hunt. Eyes full of evil, staring directly at the invincible Feng Shan'er in front of him, slowly said, "If your excellency comes to me to fall into my arrogance, you don't have to." The same thing, I don't want to say it a second time. What it means, it goes without saying. For a while, Feng Shan'er finally spoke slowly. As arrogant as her, she couldn't help but bow her head. "Sorry, it was my fault just now. Don't blame it." Feng Shan'er gave in after all. Even if she was as proud as her, in the face of absolute strength, Feng Shan'er could only bow her head. The true Phoenix bloodline is the top-notch bloodline of the monster beast. But she is not the top true Phoenix bloodline. Not surprisingly, her true Phoenix bloodline can only support her cultivation to the 7th order realm. Only if the fortune is overwhelming in the future, will you have a chance to hit the next 8th rank. After all, among the true Phoenix clan, only the best among them can set foot on the 8th level. Obviously, if her true Phoenix bloodline and aptitude were really that good, it would be impossible for the true Phoenix clan to let her worship into the holy land of wind and thunder. Instead, he will choose to stay in the true Phoenix clan to train it. After all, Feng Shan'er's true Phoenix bloodline, placed in the true Phoenix clan, could only be regarded as an ordinary level. However, this ordinary is only relative to those top enchanting evildoers. And, not mentioning the true Phoenix bloodline, Feng Shan'er also has the advantage that is different from other true Phoenix clan, that is the variation of natural wind attribute and thunder attribute, which makes her form a rare mutant physique. And this is why she was personally accepted as a close disciple by the Holy Master of Fengele Holy Land. But even so, these advantages of Feng Shan'er seemed a bit unworthy in front of Su Lai. No matter how good the qualification is, it is only qualification. But Su Lai is different. With the blood of the Scorpion Dragon clan, he could resist the pressure of her true Phoenix and force her back. Suffice it to say, Su Lai is not only crushing her with her cultivation base, but also her own bloodline. I am afraid it is extraordinary. Scorpion Dragon royal blood. Thinking of this, Feng Shan'er only felt that she was bowing her head at the moment. Not wrong. Leader. At this moment, Su Lai's subordinates of monster beasts have yet to react. The situation that I thought was going to be smashed. Only a few words from the leader of his own, he actually repelled the high-ranking monster race of the true Phoenix clan. What kind of style is this? It's a peerless. After a long time, a crowd of poisonous monsters woke up like a dream. Looking at the figure standing holding hands in the field, even them, deep in their hearts, there is a sense of belonging with a proud. The leader of his own family actually suppressed a true Phoenix clan, and he had no choice but to bow his head in front of him and apologize respectfully. Is this the demeanor of the leader? With one word, dare to challenge the true Phoenix. How domineering and proud is this? This scene, like a huge hammer, engraved heavily on the heart of every poisonous beast, the heart shook. In contrast, during the whole process, Su Lai looked indifferent, as if to him, it was just a small matter. Look at Su Lai in front of you. Even Feng Shan'er had to secretly praise. So overbearing, so taken for granted, he really looks like a hero, worthy of being the overlord of one party. Humph. Apologized too. Feng Shan'er immediately returned to business, talking about the purpose of this trip. Can we talk about it? Regarding this, Su Lai just smiled, reaching out and quoting. Certainly. When the voice fell, whether it was Su Lai or Feng Shan'er, the figures of the two disappeared in the field. Leave behind a group of poisonous beasts who are still aftertaste. Inside the stone castle palace, Feng Shan'er opened the door to Su Lai straightforwardly. Big Chief, Xiao Fan really has the essence of my ancient golden phoenix. and the bone wings of the ancient golden phoenix. Naturally is true. Su Lai smiled calmly in response to Feng Shanner's questioning. It is clear. Feng Shanner couldn't easily believe Su Lai, and immediately continued. This matter, I wonder if the leader can prove it. Su Lai nodded and said shockingly. I saw it with my own eyes, how can I prove it? These words obviously Su Lai is talking about Feng Shanner. Xiao Fan learned by accident that the bones, wings and blood he had obtained by chance came from the true Phoenix family, and he had almost never used it. Su Lai hasn't even seen Xiao Fan's face, let alone saw it with his own eyes. But well, sometimes, it is not necessary to see it with your own eyes to be so sure. As a traverser, Su Lai knows Xiao Fan's trump card clearly, so naturally he doesn't need to see it with his own eyes. Lies are obviously to separate people. The weak have no right to speak, no one believes even the truth, let alone lies. Only the strong. No one will question him, even if it is a lie, it comes with 3 points of truth. As predicted, under Su Lai's so determined tone, Feng Shanner also had fewer doubts. Although she didn't believe it all, she didn't say anything more. At this time, Su Lai continued. In fact, true and false are not important to you. I know, the reason why you value the essence and blood and bone wings of the ancient golden phoenix so much is because you want to claim credit for the true phoenix clan. After all, welcoming the ancient golden phoenix relic is a great achievement for you. As Su Lai said, Feng Shanner really doesn't care about what old ancestors' relics or not old ancestors, what she cares about is whether she can get the credit. Outside of Zhongzhou, she may be regarded as a genius evildoer. But from the top race of the monster world, how could her vision be willing to be confined to the holy land of wind and thunder in the future? Seeing Feng Shanner's emotional expression, Su Lai smiled gently and said again, if I were you, I would rather kill the wrong one than let it go. Anyway, there are a lot of grievances between you Wind and Thunder Holy Land and Xiao Fan. Kill and kill, why verify the truth? Boom, Su Lai said this. Suddenly the void rang in the palace, as if the wind and thunder were moving. This moment, Feng Shanner's face showed an extremely agreeable smile. You are right. Asterisk. Feng Shanner is not stupid. Although based on Su Lai's proof, it can't fully confirm anything. But, Su Lai is right in one sentence, Ning to kill the wrong, not let it go. For Feng Shanner, Xiao Fan brought them the shame of the holy land of wind and thunder, that was enough. As for other evidence, is it important? Not to mention just let Feng Shanner kill her mistakes. If we can welcome back the relics of the ancient golden phoenix, it is Su Lai who made Feng Shanner rebel from the holy land of wind and thunder. Feng Shanner is probably hard to refuse. Everyone is smart, and many things can be understood without words at all. Wise choice. Hearing Feng Shanner's choice, Su Lai finally smiled with satisfaction. However, Su Lai's smile also attracted Feng Shanner's gaze. He only saw her expression move and asked. The big leader is so clear about Xiao Fan's affairs, is it possible that you have an enemy with that Xiao Fan? Now telling me, do you want to kill someone with the knife? Have to say, Feng Shanner was able to get this far, and his mind was very comparable. After being persuaded by Su Lai, she switched her mind and also discovered this key point. Yes, I and Xiao Fan do have a big feud, but, Su Lai said with a smile. Immediately after he paused, he continued. The essence and blood and bone wings of your ancient golden phoenix were stolen by Xiao Fan. This is not wrong. The two do not conflict. Even if I want to borrow a knife to kill someone, you would be happy to be a killer if I want to come. Isn't it? Su Lai's answer was beyond Feng Shanner's expectation. She didn't expect. Su Lai answered so calmly that he didn't conceal the thoughts in his heart. Indeed, this is a kind of conspiracy, even if she knew it, she couldn't refuse it. Feng Shanner had to admit it. Su Lai's majestic atmosphere is her, still secretly frightened. This guy is so cruel. ... I wonder what hatred the big leader has with that Xiao Fan. Hear the words. Su Lai is still smiling, but the smile is terribly cold, unending feud. Oh, Feng Shanner obviously didn't expect that Su Lai would also have an enmity with Xiao Fan. As far as I know, with that Xiao Fan's strength, I am afraid that he is not worthy of being an enemy of the big boss, right? Immediately, a pair of wonderful eyes fell on Su Lai, as if she wanted to see him through. She was very curious how Su Lai became enemies with Xiao Fan. You won't understand. Su Lai smiled indifferently, and didn't intend to explain more. The enemy's enemy is a friend. This alone is enough. And, with Feng Shanner's mind, naturally she wouldn't trust him easily. But Su Lai doesn't need Feng Shanner's trust. All he wants is to borrow a knife, nothing more. I believe that Feng Shanner is absolutely willing to be that murderous knife. Everyone takes what they need. Seeing that Su Lai didn't intend to talk more, Feng Shanner was also wise not to ask much, and instead said. Just as the leader said. Since Xiao Fan is a common enemy of you and me, then you and my family will contribute their efforts to give him a thunderous blow and completely kill him. Not enough. Su Lai smiled slightly and said, if Xiao Fan is so easy to kill, why should I find you? This kid is of average strength, but he has a lot of cards in his hand, and he has a background of the sacred land behind him. You and me are not enough. As the protagonist son of destiny, how could Xiao Fan be killed so easily? The strong luck of this family is simply frantic. At every critical moment, it can always exceed everyone's expectations and burst out with extremely powerful trump cards. Completely staged a shocking counterattack, slapped a lot of villains in the face. And she Feng Shanner. She is also one of the female villains, and her end is not so miserable. Hear the 4 words for the sacred place of the stars. Feng Shanner couldn't help being silent, and nodded after a moment, which was regarded as an approval of Su Lai's words. I need you to borrow the sword of the true Phoenix clan for me. And this time, Su Lai finally expressed his purpose. Of course, except for the Holy Land of Wind and Thunder, the true Phoenix clan, I will also borrow a few more knives. Do you still have a backhand? Feng Shanner was taken aback. He thought that Su Lai had only her knife to borrow, but he didn't expect to have a second hand. Hee, those knives are not easy to borrow. Su Lai paused, smiling deeper and deeper, with the wisdom to see everything in the world. However, I will borrow them one by one. Here. Feng Shanner keeps improving her evaluation of Su Lai in her heart. Such a method shows the true qualities of a hero. If she was just afraid of Su Lai at the beginning, afraid of his ability to enter the 8th rank, and the blood of the Scorpion Dragon royal family. So now, she is more interested in Su Lai. For a time. In Feng Shanner's phoenix eyes, there was also a little flicker. Over the years, she is cold and arrogant and rarely admires a member of the opposite sex. Today's Su Lai is undoubtedly an exception. He has not been in contact with Su Lai for a long time. He has strength, calculation, ambition, and what he has shown, he is decisive against the enemy. All kinds of things. All prove the excellence of the man in front of me. Feng Shanner admits that Su Lai is such a heroic essence. At this stage, there is no one to compare with. Okay, then I'll wait and see. Finished. Feng Shanner also acquiesced to Su Lai's method, and soon said goodbye and left the desolate poisonous stream. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.